Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Justin Crozier, and I am the owner and proprietor of Crozier Law, and I'm here to talk with you today about a couple of fun things, I guess, involving prostitution. That's what the subject matter of the day is. You might be able to tell by the title of the video that that's kind of what we're talking about. Primarily, now I want to get this out there right away. This is not me advocating prostitution. I'm not saying that you should go to prostitutes. I'm not saying that you should be a prostitute. I'm not saying that you should manage prostitutes. I'm just saying that if you happen to fall into one of those categories, then these are some of the things that you might be able to expect, and some of the ways to maybe mitigate the damage. Primarily, we've got three different kinds of ways that you can get in trouble for prostitution. The first category are prostitutes, right? The people who are going out there and they're trying to make some money. The second group of people are those who manage prostitutes, also known as pimps, also known as promoters of prostitution. The third category are the Johns, or the people who solicit prostitutes. So we're going to go through these kind of in order, all right? And also dealing with some of the most serious crimes first, okay? So the first, we're going to talk about the prostitutes themselves. The highest level of charge that you can be hit with as a prostitute is a Class B felony. That is serious business. Class B felony means 5 to 15 years in prison. That's what that means. I mean, you could go to jail for a long time. And the way that you get charged with a Class B felony is if you know that you are HIV positive. Or you could also be hit with that if you are HIV positive and you're soliciting a prostitute because you're engaging in the act of prostitution. So if you are HIV positive, and that, it's not, I imagine, a lot of fun in a general sense, but if that happens, then don't get involved in prostitution. You could be looking at very, very serious consequences as a result of that. Okay, that's about the most serious. There's one other area where you can land in a Class B felony, but for the prostitute themselves, that is the worst one. So the next level is just regular prostitution. That's basically it. It breaks down into two categories. Either you're a prostitute with HIV or you're not. If you're not, then it's a Class B misdemeanor. Class B misdemeanor means 6 months in jail and potentially a $500 fine. Now, if you're in Kansas City proper, the city limits of Kansas City, Missouri, then most likely what you're going to be looking at is for a first-time charge is you're going to get diversion. That's the most likely thing that you're going to get. Diversion, which I've talked about before, means that you basically have to take class, you pay a fine, stay out of trouble for a little while, and then you're good. It's off your record, no charge, no guilty plea, you're done. If it becomes a regular occurrence, your second, third time, then you're probably looking at probation. After that, you may be looking at a little bit of jail time. If you are continuously getting in trouble for prostitution, then you're probably going to be eventually looking at jail time. All right, so that's it for that category of individual. For the next, we're talking about the pimps. Then what we're talking about there are all of these are felonies, okay? There's no way to avoid a felony at this point. If you're out there being involved in the management, the promoting of prostitution, you're getting a felony. Now, there's three classes. You got third degree, you've got second degree, you got first degree. I guess numerically I went backwards there. So third degree means that you're aiding somebody to find a prostitute, or you know a prostitute and you're helping them to find a guy, or a gal. I'm not judging. Either way, so that means you're aiding somebody. Usually you have to get something of value in return. Like you could be working at a brothel. You could be doing, anything basically. Just as long as you're getting something of value, and then you are assisting in the process, and that is third degree, and that is going to ring in at a Class D felony, which Class D, based upon the new rules that Missouri has, it used to be a 1 to up to 7. It's now, just a second. Now I got to think about this. It used to be around 1. Now we're talking about 3 to 7 is what you're going to get for a D. So the next level up is a C, and that's a second degree. Second degree means that you are compelling people to be involved in prostitution. You're managing a couple of people. So, you've got some business acumen. You've figured out how to expand your business a little bit. Now you've got a couple of folks there that are working for you. Things get worse for you. Now you're looking at a Class C felony. Class C felony is going to put you at 3 to 10 years in jail. Okay. Now, again, it's fairly serious. A lot of people that get hit with that also are eligible for probation. That's not an uncommon result. You might be looking at an SIS rather than an SES, and if those terms are confusing to you, I've talked about them in the past. You can look at those videos or read those blog posts, and you can kind of get caught up there. But you're looking at 3 to 10. So, again, fairly serious. And no fines are associated with a Class C. With the D, you can get hit with a $5,000 fine. But at C, you're just looking at a long time in jail. And then the next level, and this is where you're starting to get fairly serious, and this is, again, B felonies tend to be things where you are beginning to engage in practices that are very damaging to somebody. You are directly harming someone. And that's what we have here. First degree means that either you're forcing someone into prostitution, you're physically, through drugs, through alcohol, through something, or one of the people that you are managing is under the age of 16. And that's going to get you a Class B felony. And a Class B felony, again, that's 5 to 15. That's serious business. You're looking at an extended stay in one of our many fine Missouri institutions that I'm sure so many people love. So all of that stuff is going to get you in trouble. Not only that, but in all of those, in every single promoting of prostitution charge, every single one of those felonies is also going to get you on the sex offenders registry. It is one of the shorter periods of time that you're on it. You can get removed from it later, but it takes some work and it's not necessarily cheap or easy. So any one of those is going to get you on that sex offenders registry, regardless of whether it's third, second, or first degree. All those are going to land you there. It's Friday. All right, so we've kind of hit all that stuff. Now we're moving on to the third category of individual. We're talking about the Johns. So the worst case scenario for a John is a D felony. Now, that doesn't sound that bad when you think like, D felony. I mean, that's better than the other people have it in their worst case. The D felony is patronizing someone who is 14 years or younger. So that's not good in and of itself. That's your D level felony that gets you on a sex offenders registry. Not only that, but you are also liable for statutory rape, statutory sodomy, attempting to solicit, all those things. Now you can get hit with, and often will be hit with, multiple charges of those. Because they're going to say, well, you were attempting to do all this other stuff, and those things are going to hit you at a C felony. So while the charge itself is only a D, the other associated charges that you can get hit with are C level. So, while the D is, any felony, of course, is not good, you lose all kinds of rights. In this case, you're going to land on the sex offenders registry. You can also be hit with these additional charges, and because of that, as a criminal defense attorney, it makes it more difficult for me to negotiate those charges, to be able to peel things off and to be able to keep you, hopefully, off of the registry, unless, you deserve to be on there. If that's what you're doing, there's not a whole lot that anybody can do to help you there. You pretty well, got yourself in trouble. Unfortunately, can't avoid it. The next level down is the A-level misdemeanor. The A-level misdemeanor, so we're out of the felonies, we're now just at the misdemeanors, and that is someone patronizing someone between the ages of 15 and 17. Again, that can potentially get you on the sex offenders registry. It depends on what your age is, and it depends on some of the circumstances. I mean, but typically it's just your age in relation to theirs. You could be, but may not necessarily be on the registry for that. Then the last level, the lowest level, again, it is a B misdemeanor, is going to be soliciting. So for the A misdemeanor, oftentimes what you're looking at is oftentimes you're going to be looking at a probation if things go well. It depends on, most of the time that's going to be a municipal charge, so it depends on where you go to. Some of these cities are going to be a lot more tough on you than, or tougher, I should say, being grammatically correct. They're going to be a lot tougher on you than others. In Kansas City, you've got a good shot at getting diversion on both the A and the B. You've got a real good chance of getting diversion, stays off your record. If that doesn't happen, you got a good shot at getting probably an SIS probation. So probation, again, becomes an option. After that, then what we're looking at is, jail time, some fairly serious charges. The difficulty that you're gonna run into is that some of the smaller towns around here are going to be very difficult on you. I had a client some time back who got charged with something in this area, and they insisted they would accept no less than 10 days in jail. He didn't necessarily have to do it all in a row, but that's what they insisted on. It's not exactly the same charge, but it's in the same kind of an area. So some places are going to be like that. They're going to say, no, man, you did something, we don't approve of it. We've got a nice, decent community out here. We don't want people engaging in this kind of behavior. So they're going to try and hit you with jail time to really cut back on that and really be difficult with people. But a lot of other places are much more reasonable, and they're going to kind of see, all right, you got in trouble, we're going to give you a break on this one, don't do it again. If you do it again, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble, but this time, we'll put you on probation. Don't get in trouble for a while, maybe we'll put you on diversion, you're going to pay a fine, we'll call it good. That's pretty much it. That's the extent of what you're looking at there. I'm going to have a blog post coming up about this probably by the end of today sometime, as soon as, we finish editing it. Then we'll have that done. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please, just let me know. I'd be happy to chat with you. Again, I've appreciated all the messages that I have been getting, so just keep it up, and I'll chat with you guys some other time. So be careful, and good luck out there.